Hello?
Hi, Mr. Clark.
Hello?
Hi, Mr. Clark.
Yes.
Hi, this is a good time to speak now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess let me try and pick up where I left off. Can we get this guy out of jail, Mr. Sheikh Rahman? Can we get him back to Egypt, or is this not
Look, I've
allowed?
been working on that for years.
Well, I'm right here. I can get him out for you in days. You don't need to work on it for years.
Well, terrific. Go do it, will you? I'd love that.
But that's why I'm going to his attorney, because I need his attorney's assistance.
Well, what do you need the attorney for? I thought you said you could do it.
That's why I was sent to you by Sheikh Rahman's son to coordinate with you on this, because when I was in Egypt, they offered me to conduct a press conference in Egypt, and they bought in the newspapers, and they were about to do it, and I told them, no, I don't want to do a press conference. What I can do is I can go to Sheikh Rahman's attorney and coordinate with him. If he decides that he wants to do a press conference, I'm willing to pursue it. And they
That
stopped.
doesn't make any sense, really. You know, press conferences don't get people out of prison.
Well, if it's disclosing misconduct being obstructed by U.S. government, it could possibly get Sheikh Rahman out of prison. And if I can prove to you the misconduct occurred, I can provide you witnesses, I can provide you a roadmap to it from start to finish.
You talking about Rochester?
Correct.
Yeah, well, you've
Correct.
been up and down that path a number of times already.
Not with me. Not with a witness who was present inside the prison. I was an inmate in Rochester, praying 3 feet next to Sheikh Rahman, within 3 feet of him.
What kind of credibility do you have?
I'm a witness to multiple homicides. I have recordings concerning homicides. I have things that I've accumulated over the years to guarantee.
See, a bunch of homicides doesn't have a lot of credibility. What are they doing there?
I don't understand. I'm confused with your question. Say that again.
Yeah, someone who has witnessed a number of homicides doesn't have credibility because most people in their lives never see one. So someone that sees one is apparently involved.
Well, that's why I take the time to actually record things, so that it's not a matter of just my word versus somebody else.
You have a recording from Minnesota?
I have recording. No, the federal government has recordings from Minnesota because they've set up a camera inside of Sheikh Rahman's jail cell and recorded the abuse. So there's a video recording of the very abuse that we're trying to make public. And I would imagine you as his attorney would be the most qualified to pursue that. Am I wrong on that? Am I saying something that's incorrect or not proper?
We've tried that case. It's res judicata.
You've tried that case where? When did you try that case? I just filed a lawsuit on behalf of Sheikh Rahman in 2011 because I contacted you in 2009 and you received my information. You told me you received it, you're reviewing it, that you would contact me back, and I never got a call back. And then I got jumped by the CIA in Morocco. They did a whole lot of illegal things to me over there, and I really didn't know if it was you who sent them or somebody else who sent them. I don't know. Because right after I communicated with you, I was banned from leaving Morocco, subjected to a terrorism indictment, and held there against my will for almost a year, which was subsequently rejected. I filed against the CIA, and they paid me $170,000 as part of a bribe concerning these matters. And I can show you a check for that amount of money. So this is not a hoax. I'm not making any of this up. I do know that this is relevant to Sheikh Rahman entirely. And I don't want to, when I went back to Egypt this last time, they attempted to, again, call a press conference, and again, I had to run away. Because before I could meet with Abdullah Omar, I had to flee the scene because I can't provide a update to Abdullah Omar concerning my contacting you because I have nothing to tell him. I contacted you and I never received a response. And I don't want to go over there and mention this to Abdullah Omar because I don't want people in the Middle East to think or even attempt to suggest that there's a possibility that there's maybe some kind of sabotage of Sheikh Rahman's defense team. If this is incorrect and if I'm not correct about this, that's why I'm reaching out to you directly, to try one last time to see if I can provide you all this evidence and what your impression of the evidence is and why it is that you do not want to pursue it. That's all I'm asking. It's a fair thing to ask, I think. I don't think I'm being out of order by doing this. That's all. So, I mean, I just want to get your input on this. I mean, do you doubt what I'm telling you, or what is it? Do you just think I'm lying?
Well, it's just a road we've been up and down a number of times.
No, you've never sued for the abuse of Sheikh Rahman. You've never gone up and down that road, sir.
Well, don't tell me what roads I've been up and down, my friend. I know them better than you do. I was there. Why do you think you know more about what I do than you do?
But I was inside the prison with Sheikh Rahman, directly in his presence.
That's a different time and place, isn't it?
Huh?
That's not court, is it?
That's not court. You're right about that.
Prison, is it? Oh, yeah.
You're right about that, but I am.
I'm right about that, for God's sake.
But am I not a witness, Mr.? I mean, usually an attorney would not be so defensive about something like this. Why wouldn't you want to?
I'm not being defensive. I'm being offensive.
Well, then, I mean, all I'm asking you is, if I am a direct witness that you can confirm was inside the prison, and who can also, via videotape evidence, have his allegations confirmed, why would you not want to pursue that as his attorney? Did you subpoena the video recordings from Rochester?
I didn't think we needed it. You can't, you know how many cases you win from incidents inside prisons?
You didn't think you needed video recordings of Sheikh Rahman being abused in the prison?
Well, we didn't have any videotape. I don't know if any videotape existed. They didn't.
Yeah, but I informed you in 2009 that it existed. Did you subpoena those tapes after I informed you?
Look, what's your game? What do you want?
I just want to know who's defending Sheikh Rahman. Who is his attorney?
I'm his attorney.
So am I doing something wrong by asking you to subpoena the recordings of the abuse of Sheikh Rahman in Rochester? Is this something that's against his defense? Is this harmful to his defense?
If you're trying to negotiate a transfer to start accusing the United States, is not going to help it, is it?
That's why I called you, and I'm asking you if there's an FBI handler that I need to speak to. Can I speak directly to the FBI? If there's somebody maybe trying to obstruct or intimidate Sheikh Rahman's defense team in any way, can I be placed in contact with that individual directly so that I can speak to him and find out why it is that there's such a obstruction of any matter related to Sheikh Rahman and his attempt to get a defense, a normal defense that would be afforded any other inmate? Because I've seen many cases of people in jails being assaulted and get judgments, even if you don't get him out of jail. You could have gotten a civil judgment for millions of dollars that could help his family. Is that not something you would want to pursue, even if you can't get him out of jail and transferred?
What is it you want to do?
If you cannot help Sheikh Rahman, put me in contact with the FBI or somebody that you know in the government who I can speak to directly.
Look in the phone book and get the number.
Well, I've contacted the FBI for weeks and they refuse to talk to me because the CIA is blocking it. So if I can't even report imminent terrorism,
think that is the biggest fiction. You don't think the FBI is blocked by the CIA? They're rivals, man. They don't like each other.
Exactly.
They're not afraid of each other.
I know that, but the problem is that...
Okay, then why are you saying CIA is blocking the FBI?
I'll tell you exactly why. Because I'm related to a high-ranking Moroccan official by the name of General... And while I was in Morocco, I acquired information concerning his activities, and if I cooperate in any investigation... Frank Wisner, former ambassador to Egypt, tried to get me to sign the terrorism complaint against me in Morocco because of Sheikh Rahman. So they're not very smart at what they do, apparently. They're kind of like, you know, America's Dumbest Criminals. You know, that if you've ever seen that show on television, these guys, as smart as they are, they apparently are not. They collapse when they reach a certain point, and they just all their brains together just end up neutralizing each other, and they end up with no intelligence whatsoever and start doing stupid things. So I do have all this evidence. It's factual. I have letters signed by ambassadors signing criminal complaints against me. I have checks from the CIA continuing to try to bribe me. And I don't know why this is not relevant to this matter with the Sheikh.
I'm not very interested in that evidence. I'm interested in something that would help the Sheikh, but we're not trying to. We're working on a different line. We're trying to get the Sheikh transferred out of the United States.
And I'm telling you, I am the individual who can guarantee it. Why would you not want to review all the evidence?
Nobody guarantees anything like that. That's ridiculous.
I can guarantee it. Well, here's the deal. I mean, if they
guarantee it.
So obviously, there's something there, because any attorney, and especially you're very intelligent. You've dealt with a lot of people. You would definitely know the signs when something deserves to be investigated. And I'm pretty sure if you just reviewed the materials, I don't know how you could possibly say that this is not relevant to Sheikh Rahman, because every other attorney that is aware of this agrees with me, and they're professional. All these attorneys. Listen,
why don't they do something?
Well, because you're his attorney. Now, if you don't want to be his attorney, then you can say so, and then you can resign as attorney, and at that point, maybe we can bring in somebody else. But that's the problem is, I don't want to go to Abdullah Omar and have him fire you.
Attorneys. He doesn't. He chooses his own attorneys.
Who?
The Sheikh.
Well,
everybody.
That's fine, but the problem is that when I went to Egypt and they wanted to go to the press, I told them, no, the best I can do for you now is act as a consultant to his actual attorney in the United States. And that's why I immediately went to you. But you're telling me right here, right now, and you just told me before, even after you told me in Morocco that you received my email, that you don't even remember me. And how could you not remember a witness that was locked up with Sheikh Rahman that witnesses abuse? That's a very significant witness. You've never had a witness come forward. You know? That's the only thing I'm concerned about. I don't want to.
Well, where were you when we needed you?
Where was I? I was being harassed and attacked and framed by the federal government. I came forward in 1999 to report the abuse, and from that point they were obstructing it. So even if Rahman had a case based on the statute of limitations being told because witnesses hadn't come forward, the problem that I'm having now is that I did go to you as his attorney in 2009, and we may not even have a case because statute of limitation will be told. Because as his attorney, you didn't follow up on it. And I don't know why. You know, because the statute will be told from the moment that you got a hold of me. Because that's the first time you found out about me. But now it's been from 2009 to 2013. Even, you know, if Sheikh Rahman was in the court is going to say, well, that's Ramsey Clark's fault. He had the evidence and information. He didn't follow up. Statute of limitations expired. Sheikh Rahman can't even have a lawsuit. You know, and this is what I'm concerned about.
2009.
No, it didn't, because you didn't have information, and they were deliberately, illegally obstructing the investigation. So you could have sued on civil rights violations for the obstruction of the investigation.
You're a pretty good lawyer. I didn't know all these things.
Well, I am an expert lawyer. Why do you think I got $170,000 out of the CIA pro se with no attorney? I do know the law. I'm not dumb. I didn't have an attorney when I sued them. Okay, and they came with teams of attorneys, at least 20 attorneys.
We're having a long, absurd conversation. What do you want to do?
I want to sit down with you directly and hand you the entire database, which is gigabytes of material, and document my handing it over to you. That's really all I can do at this juncture. If you don't want to pursue the case or the information, I'm going to give you maybe a week or two to review the evidence and get back to me to say if it's something you want to pursue or don't want to pursue. Once you give me the thumbs up, I don't want to pursue this, then I'm going to go to Egypt and provide them access to the entirety of the database that I gave you, which I haven't done because I don't want to. So I need to get your authorization directly, not just like, oh, well, I kind of saw an email in passing, I'm not even sure. I want you to say, in an affirmation, 100%, I don't want to pursue these allegations, so that then I can be released from this jail I'm in, and I can go back to the Middle East and give them all the information. And if they want to go back and start saying, well, it's a deliberate plot and there's a scam and whatever, that's their business. At least they have the evidence. They're not being withheld the truth. And I did not provide them this evidence forever, for years, up until today. I haven't given them any of this stuff. Because I know once they get it, I'm obligated as per my religion.
You know what year it was the incident occurred in Rochester?
Assaults occurred between January of 1998 and May of 1998. But the problem is not even the assaults. It's compounded by what happened after the assaults, which is even worse. And that's your leverage against U.S. government. If you want Sheikh Rahman in Egypt, you can have him there, just by threatening to file a lawsuit regarding this matter. And I don't need to even get involved. I don't need to run over to the Middle East and dump a whole ton of information on them.
Where you been all these years?
I just told you, sir, I was going to the FBI all these years. That's all. I only went to Lynn Stewart for the first time in 2004. But the minute I went to Lynn Stewart, what happened? The second I divulged just a fraction of the details to her, I get kidnapped and held incommunicado for 2 weeks, have my face paralyzed, have a false charges placed on me, where I'm stuck fighting a case for a year and a half, and the only way I could get out of the case was to defend myself pro se in court, where I was acquitted of all the charges. And if you would like to hear that trial too, I can give it to you. I have it recorded. I did not have any attorneys on that case either. I defended myself through an entire jury trial, from jury selection to jury verdict, and was acquitted of all charges. And their charges were that I broke into the home of a federal terrorism informant and attacked her. That was their charges. So they have been trying to frame me for many, many years just because I was in the prison and witnessed Sheikh Rahman's abuse. And because even before that, my father was friends with Sheikh Rahman. And even before that, the DEA tried to frame me and literally tried to get me killed. And I have all that evidence recorded as well. I'm a walking scandal. Fine. It's not something I can control at this point. But as far as it relates to Sheikh Rahman and the situation in Egypt right now, it is absolutely the most serious situation that you could imagine. So I don't care about them abusing me. I've told the U.S. government, I don't want to sue you guys. I don't want any money from you guys. I don't care about the illegal things you did to me. My only concern is send that guy back to Egypt, because it's going to end America if we don't. And that's basically it. So I don't have, I'm only alive and here right now talking to you because they know that they've been doing illegal things to me. They know they would be killing an innocent person. And although they don't want to do it, they don't want the economy of America to collapse, because we lose all credibility in the world. But there can be no situation where the laws are broken in any pursuit of a solution to this problem. And so I'm just asking for the individuals who have the command and control authority, such as you, to sit down with me and see if we can work out something. Okay? I don't really, I have nothing against anybody. I don't care if anybody was doing anything illegal, if there was any obstruction of Sheikh Rahman's defense or anything like that. I don't care. I mean, Lynn Stewart is the one saying that you're the one working with the government, because she's the one in jail and you did everything she did, but you're not in jail. So, I mean, I really don't know what the dynamics of a situation like this is. I don't know what is really going on. I'm just trying to get this man back to Egypt before we lose our entire country. That's really it. And I have all the evidence in my possession to give you the power and authority to do that.
You know where Lynn Stewart is?
Yes, she's in prison.
I've never heard of you before.
Well, have you heard of me in 2009? You told me you did. You got my email. But I don't know what happened after that. I mean, maybe it just was something you were like, pass it on to somebody, whatever. I mean, I know I have the conversation with you from Morocco. I asked you, did you receive the email? You said yes, and you told me specifically, okay, let me review this, and I'll get back to you. You had my phone number. You knew my name. I never received any call back. And I'm not accusing you of anything. I mean, it could just be, you're an older guy. My father was old. He would forget things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying anything. I'm not accusing you of anything. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying I'm here now. Let's do something. Let's finish this problem and put it to rest for all time.
I don't remember any packages in '09, but
that's fine. I can re-forward it to you again. I would like to actually go to you directly, and I'll give it right back to you. The email that you received, I sent it to L.W. Schilling, the address you told me. And that's funny because I sent additional emails.
How many pages is it?
It was I can look back. It was a 2009 email. It was like maybe 20 or 30 pages. Yeah. Because of the fact that there is a lot of information concerning this. I understand that you don't like to read lengthy things, but unfortunately, I have 20 gigabytes of information, at least, which I can provide to you directly, and it would take you a team of attorneys just to go through it. But at this point, I really don't know how much time we do have. So really, I'm just trying to get to you everything I can, give it to you, document that you've received it, document it 100%. I can give you, maybe 2 or 3 weeks to look it over, but I would expect some kind of a response. Either yes, we're going to move, no, we're not. And then with that answer, I can go back to Abdullah Omar and we can discuss if maybe we need, to get a different attorney or try something to prevent Al-Qaeda from attacking. Because there has to be some attempt to investigate this matter concerning Sheikh Rahman. That's the only defense that we, including Abdullah's son, who does not like terrorism, who's trying to stop terrorism just like me, it's kind of the only leverage we have now with these terrorists. Because we're trying to convince them there is no deliberate conspiracy against Islam or religious leaders in Islam, who are just speaking religious matters. Because a lot of the militants believe Sheikh Rahman is a spiritual leader, not an active, direct, operational commander, and that he's being put in jail because of his ideology, not his action. And this is a big problem, must be neutralized, because this is what they claim is proof, positive evidence of a conspiracy to frame the religion of Islam, not individuals, but the entire religion of Islam, as being some sort of terrorist code book, meant to, mind program people into blowing themselves up at just the right time. Or I don't know what their Hollywood fantasies are at this juncture. So all I'm saying is we don't want to go there with all that. If it's a simple case of just some abuse and dummies in a jail that, acting beyond their capacities, making national security decisions for the entire earth, then we can resolve that. But if it's a deliberate conspiracy, that's not even, I can't control anything like that. In that situation, then it appears that we are going to be in a war, whether we like it or not. So I don't want miscommunication or mistakes or anything to cause a war. And I'm doing the absolute best that I can to prevent that. So and you are Sheikh Rahman's attorney. There's nobody above you that I can go to regarding anything concerning Sheikh Rahman here in the United States. And you can confirm with Abdullah. They tried to put me in front of the media in Egypt. I specifically refused based upon a directive that I told them I was going to deal with you first before making any decisions about press releases or anything like that. Because I think that that's more so something you should determine as his attorney, and possibly if we need to sit down with federal officials here to hash this out. I don't mind doing that because I'm not at war with America. I'm at war with criminals who are doing things that are illegal. And anybody in the American government who's willing to solve this problem legally, I'll work with. I'm not out to put out any information that could damage American government. If we can solve this behind the scenes, by just transferring this guy to Egypt and leaving him in custody in Egypt and removing that potential hazard from our plates. Because if the guy dies in jail in America, our economy goes with him, at the bare minimum. So, we don't want to go there with this kind of stuff. It's too serious. It's too it's too, it's too depressing a situation if we have to actually live it. So, please help me.
Trying to get
I'm begging your help.
Omar home for years, so.
Well, I'm here. Let's do it. I'm here. Let's do it. I can help you. I do know the law. I'm not an attorney. I don't claim to be one, and I'm not trying to supersede your experience as an attorney. You're way more experienced, but I've got some good ideas that would help. Legal ideas that you could pursue that will have results.
Well, that was a fairly small event in the whole picture,
It was a trigger for bigger events that, if made public, collapse our government. So that is relevant. It's not irrelevant. It was a piece in the mosaic. One abuse, two abuse doesn't paint the picture of what actually happened. But that abuse is critical, because why would they obstruct an investigation into it when I reported to them in '99? And they're sitting there. There's a newspaper article on CNN specifically describing that the FBI went to Rochester when Sheikh was thrown from his toilet and attacked, and he had bruises. The FBI went to Rochester attempting to investigate that very assault. But if this assault occurred in about '98, FBI started investigating in '99, and I immediately went to them as a witness in '99, but from that moment they obstructed it. That is relevant to your client, because they have been obstructing it now for 12 years. So what has evolved because of that abuse is the most critical and relevant thing to your client since his incarceration. Must be pursued, Mr. Ramsey Clark. I mean, I'm not,
he's had worse incidents than Rochester.
You've had worse incidents than 9/11?
You misunderstood me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The Sheikh has had worse incidents of violence than at Rochester. That's
I don't doubt it.
Think about it.
I don't doubt it. I witnessed it.
So then don't ballyhoo Rochester's so big.
No, I don't doubt it, because this is the problem why he has to be transferred. It's impossible for him to be in custody anywhere with his reputation in America without being abused. And that's just a fact. And that's just a situation that America created by kind of this media machine where there isn't a guard anywhere in any system.
Can you send the material to L.W. Schilling again, and I'll look at it?
I just sent him several emails just the other day. Did he not forward them to you? I've already sent him several emails.
Did you send the materials?
Yes, I just sent him about 2 or 3 emails not even a week ago when you told me to once again send it to him. So,
did you send him 2 or 3? Did you send him the material?
No, the materials are gigabytes. You can't send gigabytes via email. I would have to physically travel to New York City to give you the materials on a hard drive, because you can't even transfer it via the internet. They're large files, many files, video recordings, audio recordings. I'm going to drop on your lap the entire 9/11 dossier. That's what I'm going to give you, and it doesn't go in one email, because the size of the files are too big.
I thought we were just talking about the Sheikh's case, not 9/11.
Sheikh is 9/11. Isn't Sheikh in jail because of his involvement with the Al-Qaeda organization? I mean, isn't not Sheikh the spiritual leader of Al-Qaeda? One in the same.
Al-Qaeda was mentioned in the trial.
Yeah. They didn't want to mention it because they.
I see.
You'll see why they didn't want to mention it when I give you this dossier. If you didn't understand,
there were 17 defendants in the trial.
Yeah, but you know what? They questioned my father in that case too. Why are they putting me in jail with Sheikh Rahman when my father was an associate of his? Were they trying to frame me for involvement with terrorism as well? Could be. I can make a very compelling case for that, because even when I spoke to the FBI, they specifically told me that was a huge mistake for them to put me in the same jail with this guy right next to him as they're abusing him on videotape.
Do you think Larry has the material?
He has it. I already emailed it to him. You told me to email it to him, so I did. But it's just a summary. Anything that I email you is a basic summary What I need to do is make an appointment to actually meet with you. And I just want to hand you the information, document
I'm leaving
that
for
you've
Korea,
received it.
and I'll be gone for about 10 days.
Okay, well, hopefully no big attacks by then, and we can work it out. Whenever you're free, let's put it like that. You know,
okay.
At your discretion. How about that?
But we have your address in the emails and all.
You've had him since 2009, but you're telling me that you didn't even remember when I got to you in 2009. So I mean, the emails are there. If Schilling wants to forward them to you, he can. If he doesn't, or if you speak to him or not, he doesn't. I would have rather preferred to send it to you directly, but you're not giving me anything, any kind of email, no kind of access to you that I can give it to you. The only way I can give you this level of
U.S. mails are pretty good.
Well, you know, the problem is with U.S. mail, it can be said that it was lost in the mail. That's why I want to travel to you physically and hand you this hard.
Be back into the first week of August.
Okay, so I'll reach out to you then, and we'll see if I can. I'll see if I start preparing to compile these materials for your review onto a hard drive, and then we'll see about it when I can actually go down there and physically hand it to you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much,
Take care.
Mr. Clark.
Yeah,
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.